What's up, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be going over the ammo mods for zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. The only one I will not be talking about in this video is the Shatterblast rounds, which I've already said are the sexiest thing alive. So we're going to just completely gloss over that and jump right in to the napalm rounds. Now, I will openly admit that the incendiary rounds, napalm rounds, whatever, I wrote them off in the beginning, and I'm still going to write them off. I still do not think they're good. I still think with the upgrades, it is pretty much useless. I think the tier 4 being able to light specials on fire is pretty cool. I wish you could light the megaton on fire. I don't know why they don't allow you to do that. That's just poor design in my opinion. And the tier 5, which when you light them on fire and they die, it'll explode and set other ones on fire. Now I'm going to go in and immediately say that this is one of the stupidest upgrades ever. I think this is pointless. I think it's useless. It happens every 30 seconds. The radius is tiny. And most of the time, you don't even know you have that upgrade ready. So you're going to pop off a single zombie, he's going to explode, nothing's going to happen. It's pointless. It's one of the dumbest upgrades. Now, if the radius was 3 times as large and could catch zombies in all directions, cool. But you don't have that. It blows up in a tiny radius. You're lucky to catch at least one other zombie. And most of the time with the fire rounds, you're just gonna mow them down anyways. I don't leave targets to burn to death because I find it unreliable. All in all, the incendiary rounds, all the way up to tier 5, terrible. I haven't thought they were good in the beginning. I don't think they're good now. I think they almost need to rework it from the ground up and fix these ones because they're still I will not go out of my way to pick them. They're bottom tier. I don't ever pick them. So. My opinion, trash. Absolute trash. Next, we get into the shock rounds, which are objectively one of the best in the entire game. They were good in the vanilla game when it first launched. I mean, they tear stuff up. I mean, being able to shock a zombie, hurt all the zombies around it, and, you know, incapacitate that zombie at the same time is pretty awesome. I mean, you could block doorways. It was amazing. Now, Tier 4 allows you to shock specials. Still can't shock the megaton. And Tier 5, when you hit a zombie, it arcs the ones around him, creating a massive field of electricity that kills everything. It doesn't have to, they don't have to die for the arc to hit. It just arcs. It just works. And the radius on it is incredible. I mean, I've seen probably 10, 15 zombies at a time die to this ammo mod. This ammo mod is incredible. They nailed this one straight out the park. This one and the Shatterblast are the only two that work without the zombies having to die for the tier 5 upgrades. And it makes them quite objectively 100 times better than the other ammo types. It makes them significantly better because you don't have to rely on that one singular zombie to die in the correct place at the correct time. So you don't accidentally pop off on one zombie who's in your way and waste it. It just works. It's better. It works. It gets the freaking job done. And it's incredible. It's honestly like this was an immaculate upgrade. It works fantastically. And honestly, I switch between the electric rounds and the Shatterblast are my 2 favorite. I think they are hands down the best in the game. And for crowd control, this is exceptional. I mean, it can handle a crowd. It can slow down a crowd. It can kill a crowd, especially if you have insta-kill on. If you have insta-kill on, you can end a wave very quickly. Very quickly. So I would suggest if you haven't tier 5'd anything, go for the electric rounds. Electric rounds first, because they've been massively, the utility is insane. I just think the shock rounds altogether are one of the best in the game. So upgrading it to tier 5 and the tier 5 upgrade, good on the devs for that one. Kudos. Next, I want to talk about the cryo rounds, which I still when the game first came out, the cryo rounds were bad. Now they increased the timer on it, so it's pretty much popping off constantly when you're firing, which is pretty cool. But yet again, this is another one where the zombie has to die while affected by the cryo round to spread cryo to other zombies. Junk. Absolute junk. And, I mean, cool, a tier 4 allows you to slow down specials, which is great for mimics. Great for slowing down the mimics. I mean, and the cryo rounds, I recently found out, too, during testing and stuff like that, they work on the Soldat, which is crazy, because like, explosive was what I thought its weakness was, and then, of course, cryo rounds work on it, but you can't freeze it and slow it down, which makes of course, that would make the Soldat an elite, because it's unaffected by, you know, the special rounds. But the cryo rounds, in my opinion, are not, like, if you want the ability to, like, stop hordes, just use the Frost Blast field upgrade. Like, the cryo rounds, to me, are very low on utility, and to me, they're on the same field as the incendiary rounds. They're not very good. The upgrades, not very good. Now, if it, like, when you hit a zombie and it would, like, freeze everything around him, if it would pop off like a miniature Frost Blast, that would be 1,000 times more useful. But as they are, they're not super good, and only occasionally did I ever see it do something. Because, I mean, because it pops off so fast, especially if you have elemental pop on, you're freezing, like, everything. Like, you're hitting freezing shots on everything. But to me, on a standard zombie, you kill them so quickly, it's not useful. To me, that's not a useful upgrade. Being able to slow down specials, that's pretty cool. Of course, the only one that runs at you is the Mimic, so it's really only useful against the Mimic. A Mangler can die in 2 seconds, so cryo rounds ain't it for me. I never went out of my way to pick them, and I'm definitely not going to continue not going out of the way to pick them. Now, Brain Rot, which were always my number 2 pick next to Shock Rounds. Now they're my number 3 pick, of course. So it's Shatter Blast, Electric, Brain Rot. The tier 4 Brain Rot allows you to turn special zombies, which is awesome. It's really strong in Outbreak. Unfortunately, I was having an extremely hard time getting footage of it for this video. Every time I seemed to have brain rotted a special, it was always at the, like, end. So I couldn't, at the end of a round, so I couldn't get any good footage for y'all. But it's really strong. I mean, you can brain rot a special and then not have to fight it now, because it's just going to die when brain rot ends. And that, in a pinch, can save you a lot of time and energy. Of course, the special will kill zombies for you, which is great. But it can also buy you time and space and energy, which is really good. Now, the tier 5 is another one where the zombie has to die in the right place at the right time, and this one's a little harder to activate because the brain rot zombies run around like a maniac. You can't, it's not like one that's on fire chasing you or one that's frozen in the middle of no, it runs off and does what it wants. I think in all of my time using this one, because when they die, it spreads the brain rot to other zombies. I think I've only seen it work well one time, because it kills the zombies so fast that even like high waves, when I was up in like the 30s, I noticed I couldn't get it to work properly. I understand, like, that one is the only one to me that makes proper sense, that it spreads when the zombie dies, because of course it's brain rot, its head explodes and spreads whatever the brain rot virus is to the other ones. That's the only one that makes sense. But the radius on it, I've watched it explode in a crowd of 5 or 6 zombies and not touch a single one. So they need to increase the radius on that by like 2 or 3 meters just to get that one to be any sort of efficient. Like, what's the point of putting in the work to upgrade it if the upgrade sucks? And that's so unfortunate, because brain rot's good. Brain rot is really good. And it just is such a shame that they gave it such a lousy upgrade. In fact, 3 of the 5 ammo mods have terrible 5th tier upgrades. And in fact, they're the ones I don't pick anyways. You know? Like, they're the ones I don't use anymore. Like, I don't use them for that reason. That I just don't think they're good anymore. And the tier 5 just, it really is such a hamper, you know? And brain rot is so good it was such a shame to see it given such a bad 5th tier upgrade. All in all, I think the design of the tier 5 ammo mods are lazy. I think Shatterblast is the only one that seemed to have gotten anything substantial, and the shock rounds are the only ones that seem to have done anything noteworthy. The other ones are just super lazy. Super lazy. And I'm really upset by it because I was hoping that with the tier 4 and tier 5 upgrades, it was going to make me want to experiment more with the other ammo types, and that's not the case. In fact, it makes me want to stay away from them more because after using them for hours each, I still think they're all just useless. I don't think they're any good. I don't think, you know, I'm going to continue avoiding them. I'm someone who does not care personally whether or not an ammo mod is a special or elite's damage type, if it's its weakness. I don't go out of my way for that. I use what I want when I want because I want what's going to feel the most efficient most of the time. And that's 2 of 5. And I'm hoping whatever they add next gets the attention that like Shatterblast got, because Shatterblast is the best in the whole game, in my opinion. It works well against everything and has no weird stipulations to use it. I don't have to kill a zombie for the explosion to happen. I just have to shoot him. So I'm hoping in the future they either, you know, go back and kind of retailer the special rounds, or they just design the new ones better. I think that they could have done much cooler things. Like, they could have really have been, like, each ammo type could have been super unique and efficient in its own way, and instead they just copy and pasted over all of them, which is a real shame. It's a real shame that the devs took such a lazy route out for this one. Which, when I saw that, which is why this video has taken me so long to do, is because I haven't been excited to go and get the flawless crystals to get all my stuff to tier 5, because I was really just kind of upset and just kind of disappointed with the direction that they've gone in. So hopefully with the coming video for the field upgrades, I'll have a more positive video for all of you. Hopefully I have something a little bit nicer, a little bit better, and, you know, something a little cleaner, you know. But yeah, that's this one. These are my thoughts and opinions. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm really open for discussion. I'd love to hear everybody's opinions and thoughts on what they think is the better ammo type, or even suggestions for, you know, what they could have done better, what they could have done different, or if anybody has any cool ideas for ammo mods in the future. I'd love to talk to you all about that. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, dislike. Love you guys. Thank you for stopping by the video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and hope to catch you in the next one.